My name is Christian Basel. Years ago, I had an idea. I got myself a TARDIS. Took it to new places, met a lot of new people, took some great pictures, and talked Doctor Who. From Krypton Radio and the creators of the Hanging With web show, this is the legend of the traveling TARDIS. Join me on my latest adventures and become part of the legend. I really don't know how I did it, or why I did it, or when I did it, or whatever reason. I had my headset all the way jacked up, so when it got to the logo theme, it went right into my ear. I'm like, "What the heck is this?" I'm like, "Ow, ow, ow!" I couldn't even get through the intro. I had to take off my headset and just like, "Oh God, I got to rearrange this." Hello, everybody. Welcome again to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basel, the host of this show. We're going to be introducing our panelists today. And today, we've elected to play a little game with you guys, just to have some fun out there. We've selected our 14th Doctor. We have Ncuti Gatwa. And we're going to be talking about a little bit more about Ncuti in a moment, because apparently he's a doctor. Seriously, he is a doctor. Yeah, we will be talking about that later on the show. But today we were discussing who should be the next companion for Ncuti's Doctor. And we are very excited about this. There were people who were coming up with some really bizarre and wonderful ideas. But today you get to be in the panel as well. Tell us about your ideas. I'm running the chats. No Melanie, no Dave, so go easy on me. That's when everybody's going to be chatting like crazy out there. And don't forget, as you can see at the bottom scrolling at the screen, don't forget to subscribe to the Legend of the YouTube.com, the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Super chats and super thanks are welcome if you want to help contribute and keep this show going. This has just been a crazy day. My headset alone was just one. Don't forget, at the YouTube channel, subscribe, like, share, comment. That's how we get the algorithms. We want to beat, the Heidi Mighties up there. We want to make sure those algorithms are getting to us, because they are driving us nuts. So make sure, if you're on the YouTube channel, and if you go over there, you can go over there now, like, share, subscribe, and definitely comment. Tell us what you think, because today we want you to be all interactive, thinking about who would be the best person to ride alongside Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor. Hello, everybody. Welcome there. Let me go ahead and introduce the panel. We're going to be doing this random. On return, you better know him as the hashtag guru of the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. It is Mr. Tom Kosak, better known as the Reverend Armageddon. Or what was it? Tasty Cake? Armagon. I read
Hello
that.
There.
Sorry, I was
It's
thinking about the
Tasty Cake.
Thanks, Sarah. Remember, subscribe to the Good Reverend on YouTube channel, as well as the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. How you doing there, Tom? It's been a while.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, you had the issue 20 minutes beforehand.
That's actually where we're going to be. Got it.
Crazy.
And all of our panel has been asked a specific thing, because I want to let you know there is no limit to who we're going to be picking today, because Sony now pretty much owns Doctor Who. So now we're not really limited by a BBC budget, and also the multiverse is open. So the sky's the limit for what Doctor Who is. And some of the entries that our folks have brought in, really, really interesting tonight out there. Speaking of interesting, sorry, Mackenzie, get your microphone on. The lovely Mackenzie Floor of the Right of Wands and the Binge Watcher's Guide to Doctor Who. How you doing there, Mackenzie?
I'm doing good. Just came off of Comic-Con myself.
Which one?
It was the Capital Comic-Con.
Capital Comic-Con. How was it? How was everybody out there?
It was very delightful. Got to meet a lot of new people and got to do some really awesome networking. I'm excited for next year. So we'll go from there.
Okay. I'm glad you had a great time. And if I remember, you cosplayed as 11, right?
I did 11 and 13, and that particular con has a very large cosplay group, and I actually was approached by them, and they said, "Hey, we need a Whovian division. Can we start with you?" So
This is what a nice way
I
of
guess I'm
saying
now a cosplayer now, officially now too.
sounds like you've been recruited.
Yeah, I've
You've
been
been recruited
recruited.
Speaking of recruiting, because my segues are so horrible, Kevo, how you doing there? From Husbands Talking More or Less podcast. Also, you can catch him on Kid Riot Comics over on the
Yes.
Instagram out there. And what's this one? I got a new at Hubs
Yeah.
Hubs
Yeah.
Plus Network. Tell us a little bit about this.
That's for our YouTube channel. We talked about it a few
Oh,
months
okay.
ago. And we got enough subscribers, so I was able to change our on the YouTube channel, which is
congrats.
great. Yeah.
Doesn't it feel great to get your first 100? You can change your name. I'm like, wow.
Yes. And I love the uniformity of it. I want everything to match and everything like that. So I was thrilled about that. Yeah, summer going good so far. My partner Nico, actually, he just saw the publication of a comic story that he did for an anthology called Young Men in Love. And it has such amazing writers on it as like Sina Grace, Terry Blas, Anthony Oliveira. It's this really awesome. There's like 40 different creatives who worked on it, and it's a really awesome queer book that just saw publication. I think like this week, and that's really awesome. So yeah, it's been a good summer.
Yeah,
we got our books out. It's great.
And this is great. And for those of you listening to the on our other channels like the iHeartRadio, you can't see this at Hubs HUBS plus Network, all one word out there on the YouTube channel. I want to welcome Repair Your PC. Hi there. I've never seen you before, but welcome. Thank you for joining us into the chat. And then last but not least, all the way from Puerto Rico, the lovely Melina Vader. How you doing, Melina?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm full after eating that Chinese food. I'm full.
Oh, yummy. Hello, Sophie. And of course, the hashtag guru is up and running already there. How we doing there, Carl? And everybody's saying hello to each other. Vicky Merlin, I don't think I've had you on here. Luke from Sarah Jane Adventures. Okay. So you're already giving your ideas. Oh, okay. All right. We're gonna hold that thought. Let me go ahead and stop the chat. Normally I have Melanie and Dave here, so I'm doing all the work for today. And so forgive me, but this is when everybody goes completely ape and starts going, into chat craziness mode. So there we go. So let me give you an example of how we are doing this. Normally I would start at random, but I wanted to start with Melina because she picked one. Now, again, let me go ahead for those of you just joining us. What we're doing today is we are going to be picking a companion for Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor, the 14th Doctor. Now, the sky's the limit. We didn't put any limits on this. So you could pick somebody, a classic companion, a new companion completely out of the box, somebody brand new who's never been on the show. Or you could probably have a previous actor or actress do another new role. Or you can get somebody from the comics or Big Finish. Everything, the sky's the limit. But it is something that we wanted to see who would be best fit for Ncuti to be running in the TARDIS with. And Melina, I'm going to start with you out there. So tell us a little bit about who you picked and why.
I actually chose Carrie Mulligan because I really like her. And I liked her also as Sally Sparrow. I think that was her character's name. And in the episode Don't Blink, I think it was just called.
Blank,
so
yeah.
I don't know why. I just find her to be so charming and smart and intelligent, and I liked her in Education.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing that Ncuti got his he graduated, and he's the way Ncuti talks, and he sounds such an intelligent, bright man. I think he'll go so well with Carrie Mulligan. I don't know why. I just find them to be both have this synergy, and I think they both can be very witty, and I think they can make great chemistry. Aside that, I really liked the character Sally Sparrow, and I really liked Carrie Mulligan's acting in it, and I kind of have not let her go. So I sort of want to see.
You would have the universe. They want
Yeah.
it. Now, here's the thing. When I asked Melina, I said, okay, you want Carrie Mulligan back. And I slipped up and said, oh, so you want Sally Sparrow back? You said no.
Mm-mm.
You said you want Carrie back,
Mhm.
but not as Sally, as a
Yeah.
completely new character.
And judging me.
No, that's not judging. I
No.
was not expecting that at all. So tell me, you would bring Carrie back to rather that of Ncuti,
Carrie.
but
Just
you would bring. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. You're fine. I'm sorry to interrupt. Like I think because I'm thinking that I forgot her name. I forgot her name. The actress who play Amy.
Karen Gillan.
Oh, Karen Gillan.
Thank you, Karen. When she appeared at, was it Fires at Pompeii?
Fires of Pompeii.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So yeah, she played another character of that, but I
Nice
think
girl.
I think
And
Karen
it's been 15 years, so yeah, why not? Why not a new character?
exactly. I think it's a new character. I prefer a new character, and aside that, I am actually I love Carrie. I really do. I think there's something about her that she just seems like such an intelligent young lady, even though I think she's 37 years old right now, if I'm not mistaken. I think she's about 36,
Woman
37.
never tells her age. So, God.
Well, I mean, she doesn't look like it, so she shouldn't be ashamed of
37,
her
yeah.
age, right? So
Well, she's ever since I think Sally Sparrow put her into the stratosphere, because then she was doing movie after movie after movie. And what's that one with Spider-Man? I can't think of it. Or Leonardo DiCaprio. God, what is it? The Great Gatsby.
the great, yeah.
And she was doing a plethora of movies, and then all of a sudden she just disappeared. I haven't seen her out there. But you said no to Sally Sparrow. Now, I wouldn't say who gets there, but I was just like, I think people would love for her to come back as Sally and do stuff. But tell us about your new character. What would you? Does she have a name? Do we know anything about her, or you just want to bring back to what?
Yeah, I just want to name her Melina, so she's gonna be like the very prettier version of myself.
Shut up, Melanie.
But no, okay. Jokes aside, I don't know what kind of I find her to be, maybe, I don't know why, maybe one of those I don't know, like a historian, librarian, something like that.
Okay.
But I don't want. I'm trying to be careful not to make it look like too Clara. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like Clara, right? So I don't know. I just and maybe, I don't know, maybe some kind of librarian, historian, something. I don't know, because she's really good at doing these roles. Like, again, and Education is my favorite movie. I thought she was so excellent in that movie, and I can imagine her being as in like a very intelligent person, a character of that sort, and making that kind of wittiness and that connection with Ncuti. And since we don't know what kind of doctor he's going to be,
Yeah,
but the way Ncuti presents himself, he's so charming and so, and in the series which I recommend, Sex Education, he's very witty as well, and he's very funny. So I can imagine that kind of chemistry connecting with Carey Mulligan. But definitely another character. As much as I love Sally Sparrow, I loved her. But I think I'd rather have another role. And like you said, Kevin, it's been like a couple of years already. So
15.
I think we'll be interested in
More.
seeing it as another character. Definitely, maybe something. Maybe I don't know, long distance relative Sally Sparrow. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I see what you're saying there, because I've seen some clips and stuff. I haven't really sat down and watched Sex Education yet, or anything of a series nature on Ncuti. But let me put it this way. Let me see if I get this right. Sally's more like book smart, and the 14th Doctor would be like street smart.
Yeah.
Like her character would have read all the books, but here's the Doctor going, "No, I'll take you inside what's really going on out there." So. Is that what I'm going for? Or
Yeah, I think it would be fun. Maybe she could be like kind of like a historian, like kind of like going head to head with Ncuti. It's like, you can't change history. That's impossible, like, but this event happened and you can't change it. And, all that kind of, um, that kind of dynamic, and Ncuti be like, oh yes I can, I'm the doctor and I can do anything, and I think something like that. Obviously I'm not a writer, obviously it's pretty bad the way I'm explaining it, the possibility of
You're fine.
but
You're doing fine. I just want to make sure that the audience knew what we were kind of doing, because I was kind of shocked when you said no Sally Sparrow, bring in a new character. But now that I'm hearing more of what you're thinking and your thought process, I do like it. I do like the idea. He could actually come out and say, "You look like somebody I know." I just keep going at it for a while, because we've mentioned Karen Gillan came back as one character. Martha Jones, what is her name?
Reimagining.
Freema. We also had Peter Capaldi. He went from being a character, and Colin Baker. They were both characters in previous and came out to be doctors later on. So everybody's got the idea of now how this is going to work, and we're back. We'll get to your chats. Tom is shaking his head. I don't know. When we return, we're going to go commercial break. When we return, we're going to continue on with our discussion of who should be the next companion. When we return, please continue to stay logged on, tune in, and become part of the legend. Here we go.
We are a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We go from house to house every Friday night, and we create music, we create food, a good time, we stream it live, and we do it for free. So now we're just really kind of like trying to develop it and build a community group that people believe in, then they'll help us. So we played from our rehearsal room, we played from the bathroom, thankfully that didn't catch on.
I probably played guitar in my room, not for anyone, in front of anyone, nobody heard, for probably about 10 years.
And then one Friday night, we played from the kitchen. It's the main place people want to be. It's where the food is, it's where the drink is, it's where the best lighting is. You can go to any party and I guarantee you, the kitchen is going to be popping.
Our ultimate goal, I think, would be to crash kitchens every Friday all around the world. You play this up for me, yeah.
And that's right, folks. As you've seen, the end of this month, July 29th through the 31st, the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS and some of its members will be at Tampa Bay Comic-Con. Don't forget to get your tickets at tampabaycomiccon.com and check us out. We are joining forces with Dalek Builders of Florida. We're going to have Dalek Ray and Dalek Hal there as special guests, as our guests for us from the Dalek Builders of Florida, and they will be invading the Comic-Con as we speak. They're going to be hanging around our area, so make sure you have your cameras, get your cosplay on, because two Daleks will be with us all Tampa Bay Comic-Con this week, that weekend. Well, again, it's going to be July 29th through the 31st. Get your tickets now and join us out there. We're going to be hosting panels, as well as the great Christopher Eccleston will be there in person. So for all you need to get out there. Definitely. And welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, folks. My name is Christian Basel. I've got Tom, got the lovely Mackenzie, the lovely Kevin, and the lovely Melina all here. And you know what? I want to get that wheel thing. You know, I saw it on one of the other broadcasts. There's a wheel with the names on it so that I can just pick at random there. But for right now, Mackenzie, you are up to bat. let me go ahead and bring you up online. And you're going to tell us who you picked and why. Who would be a great companion to the great Ncuti Gatwa, the 14th Doctor?
Well, this particular actress has actually been on the show before. She played Gabriella Camara. It was Joanna Broha. I actually could see her being not the chef.
That was a little surprise for Mackenzie there, because I actually looked it up by the name and I didn't realize there was a chef from Iron Chef out there with the same name.
Yeah.
So that would be not, well, you know what? Maybe she could do it, but we're talking about this companion right here. Tell us about her. So you would bring back the character, right? You would bring her and as back as a character, right?
Yes, I'd either bring her back as her character, or I would bring her back different characters. I more suspect I would probably bring her back as the original, because while she was a great companion, she only really did have that one episode, and I think that perhaps it'd be interesting for a companion for the very first time to actually kind of teach Doctor some cool stuff of where to go, because it's always the Doctor showing the companion all this cool stuff in the reverse order, because Gabriella had been one of those, she used internet, she used technology, she could be able to even really fit into the alternate universe that is, you know, if they did some type of spin-off or something like that too, they could have her being in there where she could do her own podcast like she was doing before.
Oh, okay. So she's toured around the places. It's always the Doctor taking the companion somewhere. Here in reverse, it's going to be the companion taking the Doctor somewhere. Yeah. And she would probably teach him stuff that, you know, usually it's the Doctor who opens our eyes to things that we don't see. Well, the reference of like the 8th Doctor who sees a little pile of snot on the ground and says, "That's beautiful life." And everybody would walk past it, ignore it, but he would, just because he had that zest for life. And I think that would be a repeat of Ncuti. This is my opinion. We have not seen Ncuti, you know, describe the character as of yet. We haven't seen his interpretation, but we have seen him in other stuff. And I can only see him just being comedic, having a good time, having a zest for life. He would take what the 8th Doctor started and take it to the next level, make it very more colorful than Colin Baker's jacket, and just have an all good time. I just, that would be fun. And yeah, she didn't really get, there are so many companions out there that really just went to the wayside. They really didn't. Go for it, Kevin. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I love that idea so much. I already hate whoever the next companion is going to be. A black Doctor with a black companion, like that would be so amazing. I'm already mad at whoever's coming next, because now it's not going to beat what Mackenzie said it was.
You know what? The last time we had an Asian companion was 26 years ago, so I think it's time. You know, just my opinion out there. But
sure, another companion as well. All people of color in the TARDIS. Great, please. Oh my God, I'd love that.
You got it. Let me go ahead and get to the chats. We got Vicky Merlin. Hey there, Vicky. I think this is the first time Vicky's been on, and she recommends Luke from the Sarah Jane Adventures or Captain Jack Harkness. Yeah, he was. I think from what I heard, he was supposed to be Captain Jack was supposed to be in the Flux.
Yes.
And got written out for whatever reason. And well, we know the reason, but I was just like, I nothing was confirmed. But I think it would have been far better if Captain Jack were in there somehow, somewhere. And to make the Captain Jack is always having a great time with the Doctor, no matter what he or she looks like at that moment. But it's John Barrowman. He just brings that zest and that energy and that life to Doctor Who, as he did for Torchwood and all those days that he started. So what do you guys think? Either let's start with Luke from Sarah Jane, who also hasn't really had much. You know, after they canceled the series, we thought maybe they might continue with the kids, or Ace, or I thought somebody had mentioned Sophie Aldred could have picked up the series. But I see what RTD did. He didn't want Sarah Jane to just, you know, he wanted her to keep going even after the series had ended. But
I think it's time. I think it's time for, like, you know, we talked, I think, a couple of weeks ago about the idea of Sarah Jane even being recast. But like, if we, you know, allowed the show to move on and brought the Sarah Jane kids back to, like, keep up her legacy. I'd love that. I'm always saying that. I think those kids were all great, and they would do so well in the TARDIS.
I think it'd be
You could
great
even
if they
take
caught
it a
up with
step
Shooty.
further too. What if you brought her real daughter and be a companion?
Oh yes, yes, I'm with you there.
I would
there's
love
so many
Sadie Miller.
options.
Yeah, I would love Sadie Miller. I don't
Absolutely.
know if it would work if it were some kind of hidden daughter of Sarah Jane that we didn't know about, because I'm like, when did that happen? And where did that go? So, Harriet Engel, hey there. I think this is your first time. Me, dang it. And there you go. Welcome there, folks. I want to welcome Edward Hotchman as a Dalek or as a companion. I wonder
A
where he's
Dalek
going.
as a companion.
A Dalek as a companion. I'm sorry, I was reading that wrong. It's a little more tinier where I'm reading it from. There was a series called, Tom, help me out. Richard E. Grant. The Master was the Doctor's companion at that moment.
Yeah,
That was the first time.
Scream of
Shalka, and it was the Master, but this Master was stuck in the TARDIS. He couldn't go out, and that was the whole
like Series 10.
Like Series 10, but it was. I think they may even borrowed from that, but the idea is that the Master could not leave the TARDIS or else he would die. And here was the dichotomy, because we didn't know if we could trust the Master. There were times he was helping the Doctor, and there was times that he was going like, "Are you sure you really trust me in here?" He couldn't leave the TARDIS for whatever. I think it's because he was a robot or something. He was stuck in the TARDIS, and I think the TARDIS was keeping him alive. And it was just fun to watch it. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was he was he plays later Master, right? Sir Derek
War Master.
Yeah, War Master, Sir Derek
Professor
Jacobi. He eventually becomes the Master in the TV series, but he played the voice of the Master. And to have Richard E. Grant and Sir Derek Jacobi like that dynamic, that was fun. And then, of course, the Master's stuck in the TARDIS, so we don't know whether to trust the Master or not. Having said that, a Dalek as a companion, what do you guys think?
I feel like they've already done so much to the Daleks that
Yeah.
takes the bite out of them. It would just be it might be a step too far. I don't know.
You think maybe it's time to put the Daleks to rest? Just not can them, but just rest them out there. Hey, Dan, how's it going out there?
A few less sympathetic stories for Daleks.
Yeah,
maybe.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because we had some series like Into the Dalek, where
Into the Dalek. Yeah, I was gonna.
That got weird. That kind of got weird
Rusty.
for me. Rusty was a little bit weird for me out there. But yeah, I gotcha. Got it. Well, the comments are. Oh my god. Okay, I really need Melanie today. My suggestion would be Joseph Quinn, Camilla Cabello, and Marvin from A Hitchhiker's Guide. Okay, to the Galaxy. Doctor already met Arthur Dent. Yep, that is true.
Yeah, Joseph Quinn from Stranger
Things.
Stranger Things. I didn't know that he was British until I saw him. He's British.
Those accents will fool you.
Papito, he's British.
Well.
He was in Game of Thrones also.
Hey, yeah, thanks for coming by, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. By the way, Melina, did you try beans on toast yet? That's Mark Robinson.
Don't do it.
No, mi amor, no.
Love yourself. Love yourself.
No, mi amor, we eat our beans hot. We serve it on the right. What? Arroz blanco, white rice, and it's warm. I can't eat beans on a toast. I don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't get it. It's like we prepare our beans so differently, and I see beans served on a breakfast platter. And with blood sausage, and that's something that we eat as in not for breakfast, as in like a hot plate, you know what I mean? Like you have your rice and you have your I can't say this word, the steak. It's kind of some kind of steak. So no, you can't make me eat beans on toast. Maybe if I go to England, maybe one day I'll try it, but not here.
I'm forgiving you, Sophie, because I think you meant Tennant. David Tennant, yes.
David Tennant. Oh, David Tennant back to Doctor Who.
Con, really, Ramona?
Nobody say George Costanza. What's going on?
Shush. Mr. Rourke, Edward comes in. Mr. Rourke of Fantasy Island. Which version? Montalban or
All of them.
McDowell? And the new one, I haven't seen the new one yet. There was the horror version, the real.
It was a
horror
movie,
version.
right?
Yeah, it was a movie version, and I
Yeah.
didn't see that one. I just
Yeah.
I couldn't bring myself to it. It was like Montalban and McDowell really had some really good chemistry out there, and it was just like, I'm done with it. Huh? Okay. Speaking of which,
Huh?
Tom is just talking to himself the whole time there. Yet it is. Thanks for coming up over here. I've always had this dream. I think everybody has. I wanted one middle of the line episode where a doctor, and they had it in the book. I think it was called Enterprise from Mad Magazine, where the chosen doctor and Captain Kirk would get together.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think William Shatner is ever going to stop. I think he's going to be doing movies for another 20 years. He's going to outlive us. He's going to outlive the Roaches. He just keeps going and going. I'm like, good God, you need to stop.
He's like 90, right? 90?
He's 90 something. Yeah, I think he is. I think he's 90. If he's not, he's in his late 80s, very early 90s. I mean, and they shot him up into space too. Well, we got chats after chats after chats, but before we go to commercial break, let's go random. No, let's go to commercial break. And Kev, I'm going to have you up in just a moment, and your choice. When we return, please continue to stay logged on, tuned in. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Jamie Engel, critically acclaimed author of The Toilet Papers, Places to Go While You Go, a short story collection suited to match your bathroom needs. Only have to go a little? No problem. I've got stories under 1,000 words for you. Far from poopin'? I've got you covered, with stories over 5,000 words to keep you occupied, while your latrine stays occupied. And that's not all. The Toilet Papers is endorsed by the fine folks from Squatty Potty, the stool for better stools. But don't take my word for it. See what Dookie the Squatty Potty unicorn has to say on YouTube. You won't be disappointed. Well, I've got to go, but you can grab your copy of The Toilet Papers on Amazon in ebook or print, or get an autographed copy from me at therightangle.com. And don't worry, I promise I'll wash my hands first. The Toilet Papers. You might just stay in the bathroom longer than you need to.
Meet the Doctor.
I'm the doctor.
But not the one you were expecting.
All right, sexy. It's time to go home.
Doctor Who Velocity. Streaming now.
Oh, brilliant! It's hard to believe that in the 56-year history of the greatest sci-fi television show in the English language, there is...
And we're back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basel. There's your next companion right there, just in case you get hungry in the TARDIS. Gabriella will be cooking up something for you right there in the TARDIS there. But as we continue,
ideas.
what's up? Okay, gotcha. Thank you, folks, for joining us, and welcome there. Don't forget, as you can see scrolling at the bottom, if you haven't, youtube.com/The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Super chats and thanks are welcome. If you want to contribute and help us out, keep this show going. Again, just for those of you just joining us, we are looking into who should be the next companion for Ncuti Gatwa, the 14th Doctor, of course, and why. And since Sony has opened up the gates to everything, there is no limitation. So, Kevo, you're going to take up the bat. And who did you pick to be the Doctor's companion?
So before you elaborated that it could be like any character or like anyone even from the Sony verse, I took the assignment to mean like think of a actor to be the next companion for the Doctor. And the person I picked is, I love the actor in the first place, but she's also more about a vibe that I would love to see for the next companion. I picked from the amazing Disney Channel sitcom Girl Meets World, Sabrina Carpenter. Just in the first place, I love her. I'm in like a Boy Meets World K-hole right now. I'm having a renaissance with that show and its spinoff, and I love her acting in general, but I also love her as a representation of a vibe for the next companion to sort of reflect Billie Piper's casting from 2005. I would love some sort of like younger actor who has been in the industry for a while and could use this sort of revitalization for their career. So many people who only know Billie from Doctor Who have no idea that she was a pop singer. Like so many people, at least I remember at the time, so many of us discovering her music videos and the music video for Because We Want To, which basically featured Jadoon hilariously. But
so you're hoping we get a second coming of Thunder, Lightning in there, Lightning in a Bottle to strike twice, with her being the new companion. Gotcha.
Yeah, I would just love to see something that pays, tribute to the spirit of Billie's casting almost 20 years ago. Now that Russell T Davies is coming back and taking the show back on, I imagine we're going to be seeing a lot of, things that he couldn't go all in on at the time because, it was 2005 versus now. So I would love to see what he could do with a similar type actor and figure in a more modern setting now.
Gotcha. I personally not want Sarah Jane to be recast. I kind of feel the same way. I do want Sadie to be in the series. I don't know if it would be any relation, be like a distant cousin or something. I don't even know if we could make the relation. Yeah, no clone. I don't see. I don't know. It to me when I was growing up, it might have been different. Sarah Jane was kind of like my sister. You don't mess with my sister. It's just like no cloning, no nothing. She's cool with that. Now, the reason why I kept the next team on a later panel because I'll just blow it out here. The next set of people that are going to be introduced are people who've never been in Doctor Who. So as a surprise for our friends, for our panelists tonight, I've actually pulled up pictures using Google to say the actress's name or the character's name and put Doctor Who in it. So whatever the first picture that came up after I put in the Doctor Who, this is the picture that Google chose as being the first picture that came up.
See, that's a vibe. That's a great vibe for a companion. I love it.
I would say bigger on the inside for the shopping cart. That's why she's there. So that's just me there, but that's all right. But I think, I could see where it's a great vibe, and she looks like somebody. I haven't seen her on the Disney Channel, but from what I've seen in the pictures, she looks like somebody who is just enjoying stuff. I think she kind of resembles a little bit of like Rose. Does she have that kind of personality, or?
If you watched the original show Boy Meets World way back in the 90s, she's the John character. She's the, one who was from the wrong side of the tracks, which evokes very much the Chav type, lower class Rose from series 1 and 2.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Let me run through the chats, and the Reverend Amagon will be next. And let's see what other people have brought in on here. Yet it is. Thanks for coming. If you could bring any companion back, it would definitely be Bill Potts. And if I could cast anyone as a new companion, it would have to be John Boyega. And for those of you who may not be familiar from the Star Wars series, as well as he actually, if you want to see John slightly as a companion to the 13th Doctor, Attack of the Block.
Right.
John Boyega and Jodie Whittaker were both in there, and John Boyega stars in the movie. I wasn't too crazy about it. Sorry, I love Jodie Whittaker actually in that movie. That was the only takeaway. but I understood what the movie was about. It was kind of it was kind of a fun thing, but I was ready for the alien at the end there. But Jodie was cool in that movie. But if you want to see an interaction between John Boyega and Jodie Whittaker, Attack of the Block. That's just me. I know some people love it. It just didn't get to me there. Carl, Nicola Bryant got a bad deal. Might be nice to see her in a few episodes at least. There was one where they were selling. Tom, help me out here. I think there was a bit of one where she's at the funeral of the Akanos and the Six Doctors there. They were selling the DVD. This was to sell the new DVD for that series for the Trial of the Time Lord.
Yeah.
And it was a cute little thing, and it was nice to see her back in the role and having a great time out there.
I could ask her husband. Friend.
Brian Blessed, that'd be great to bring him back into the series. He was a droid master. Mark Robinson says Rusty comes back as companions. Not Rusty comes.
He's not sure about Rusty coming back as a companion.
He's not going to come back. He's not Rusty.
He's not sure about it.
I think we ran all the way with Rusty on there. I think a character from the past, similar to Mary Shelley, played by Gillian Anderson, perhaps.
Shooty said he wants Gillian to be on the show.
Yeah.
Either as a villain or whatever. So
she would be a great villain. I would love that.
Rani. Yep.
Oh, the Ronnie. Yes, he said he'd like to have her as the Ronnie.
Yeah, don't get me started on Time Lords coming back. I was just like, where have they been? What are they doing on Gallifrey? There you
don't
go.
Get my hopes up.
I would love it for them. Edward is. I'm still catching up. I know Melanie's at home laughing her ass. Unlike Christian, will never catch up. Montalban. Edward prefers that Mr. Work out there. Hello, Sideswipe 147. That's new. Don't forget to subscribe at the YouTube channel. Claire is the best companion, hands down, but she is so much more than companion. So, I don't know. Melanie, yes, it is. You're back. There it goes. Yes, actually, yes, it is. Yet it is. Has always been back occasionally out there. He's trying to resurrect his role as Kirk. There you go. And they were having conversation out there. Shatner is 91. Holy cow!
Yep.
Yeah, I knew he was
good. Grief, I'm eating here. Shut up. Okay,
briefing again, you know.
There you go. Well, you know what? Let's pause right here and let's let the hashtag guru take over. Tom, who was your pick and why?
Well,
did you just freeze, Tom?
Thinking cap on.
That was the perfect. There we go.
I
villainous
choose
in so many ways. Let me just.
Yeah, well, as companion.
Love it.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
she would be adorable. Oh, shush! I know why you want her, but go ahead. Tell us why you want Haley to be with Shooty in the TARDIS.
You didn't ask me that originally. Now I got to think about it.
Yes,
You said, "Who do you want to choose?"
Well, yeah, well, you're going to be a companion. I understood why you want to. I think everybody wants Haley in there.
She's brilliant. She's British. Even though she was dating that Scientologist person, I won't mention his name.
Okay.
She's a talented actress. She's been through everything. She's always been a major character, just because Sony money, even Sony and Disney are together, right? I lose track of the whole thing anymore.
I can't tell anymore. I think Sony's its own thing. I know. Yeah. I think it's like Universal. They kind of like have a little bit of a joint account, especially when it comes to Marvel with Disney. But just for you, Tom,
she had a bit part in Doctor Strange. Bring her in for, a couple episodes here and there, because she'd be at home in the TARDIS. She would be my companion if I actually wrote the story with her, but I'm not, because I chose straight for Shooty's Doctor. How kind of me.
How about this? I want her as Romana, and I want her to be the version that lost Gallifrey. And she has to be the Time Lord that has to rebuild. I would love her for her to be Romana.
That would be interesting. Yes, I can see that. Because Lala was still continued on Big Finish. as Lady President, but from what I remember, she disappeared of some sort. So Rassilon took over, another version of Rassilon took over. So anything could happen, with what's happening now, knowing that Jodie's doctor cannot regenerate, but we know something's going to change. We know the universe has to be recreated somehow. Gallifrey has to come back. I saw that, Dan. Gallifrey has to come back. Romana come back. Everyone that was in hiding. The metal monk. Romana.
I just think it's time for the Time Lords who have been in Doctor Who have never seen the light of day since the new, except for the Master. I think it's time for Romana, the Romani, Monk, Chancellor Flavia, Drax. They should all come back. I think they have a place in there. And I think it's time to find out, did they fight in the Time War? Were they there? And I think she would be a perfect Romana. And speaking of perfect Romana, I did the same thing for you, Tom. And here, do a Google search for Hayley Atwell, Doctor Who, and this is the picture that came up.
Makes sense.
Delicious.
Easy now, boy.
Nom, 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 nom. Take a sip of my water here.
Put your ears back on out there. Let's go back into the chats and see how it goes. My goodness. Melanie, I'm sorry. I need you back here. Kramer as a companion. Oh, God, no.
Walking into the TARDIS like that, though.
He walks into the TARDIS, walks out, and is not even fazed about what's going on out there.
He's out of the contest.
Yeah. It is. Oh, jeez. Great. Sorry. I told you I need help. One dumb. Potpourri, wash your hooves. Good grief, you people are weird. There you go. There you go, Melina.
What?
Newman.
Oh my God.
Newman? Who said Newman?
Tom.
Oh, thank you.
Who needs is to see Ashilda, me, as a companion, but those stories are reserved for when I finish my vacation and once again retake up the mantle. It's the Doctor. Okay. Melanie, I hope you get better. I want the companion to be Idris because it would happen before she became the TARDIS. So we have like a prequel?
Oh, okay.
I don't. Oh, okay. I get it now.
You get
Sure.
Yeah.
Melanie, oh my gosh, I won something. Thank you so much. I'll be sure to. Oh, okay. I got you. Got it. She'd be amazing. Yep. They're still having that conversation. But that creates complications. The Doctor would recognize Idris. Oh no, didn't Idris take up a body?
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Idris was the body that was played by that lady who looked like Helen Bonham Carter.
Suzanne Jones, Suriname Jones, or something like that.
Yeah. So they're saying like a prequel to that woman leading up to her death.
Oh, okay, gotcha. We're just getting talking. I would love to see him cameo there. Yet it is. Alton Brown has repeatedly said he wants to be on Doctor Who, so I'd be for that. Melanie Dean, true, since she wouldn't know the Doctor, Ncuti could play it that very bittersweet, knowing her end, but making her her story a good one. And there you go. We should just have chats. I can't even keep up with this. Darren Brown as a Doctor, now that could be very interesting for Side Swap. For those of you just joining us again, don't forget to subscribe, youtubechannel.com/The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. We are at 2,229 the last time I checked. If one of you could just get us over to that one person hump to get us to 2,230, that'd be great. Christian, you hate my Collector's Museum series of stories then? Not that I'm aware of. That would be like Schwarzenegger and the Doctor. I don't think it would work well. Okay. That's an interesting take. How about a young Davros? How about a companion that the Doctor knows will turn evil?
Well, as a kid, yeah, because when he turned to adult, he went to school, and his mother and sister, based on the I Davros on Big Finish, so it could happen in that little short time period.
What does chav mean? I'm sorry to sound.
Chav type. Chav meaning council house and violent. I don't know. What's her name that played Lady Mormont? Anybody know what Sideswipe's talking about? She would make a great companion. We also need cameos from the Dench. I don't see why not. Oh, Frozen. Okay.
Whole cast.
Go grass. Here's the thing. You need to find people who are much less well known. Do you think we should find people? If you were to pick a new companion, would you do it from somebody who was a complete unknown like Matt Smith when he took on the role as the Doctor? Or do you want somebody kind of like Billy Piper who was a little bit known, or somebody like Catherine Tate who was well known for her comedy?
Well, it would be hard. Well, in my perspective, I don't know a lot of artists from the UK that are considered, I guess, local. So when I first watched Doctor Who, I didn't know any of these actors at all.
Mm-hmm.
But popular actors that made it to Hollywood, like Hugh Laurie, Tom Hiddleston, and all, then I'm not sure. I think I'd rather have a fresh new face, maybe. But still, if it's someone who is known locally in the UK, for me, in my perspective, like, because I don't know these actors, so for me, it will still be new.
It does make a difference, yeah.
I don't know, because Hugh Laurie. Here's the funny part: when Hugh Laurie finally got his show in the US for House, nobody knew about him.
Yeah.
Before he got House, his IMDb could go running off your screen 50 times over. He was, and people are going like, "Oh my God, he's such a brilliant actor." And so I go, "He's British." He goes, "How do you know?" I'm like, "I saw him in Blackadder like decades ago, before he even ascended to House. I saw him in Flight of the Phoenix." I'm like, "I know he's a British actor." Nobody knew about that. Yeah, 101 Dalmatians, Stuart Little. He was always the background character. And for him to ascend to a role like House and really just eat up the scenery like he did, it's nice to see that somebody had their appreciation once for being the lead actor in something, and finally get their chance out there. Doctor Who at 60 and beyond. Thank you. Long live Maxwell, the new companion. Oh my God, that would be outrageously weird. And what if Russell Davies gives Gallifrey a Bobby Winning dream regeneration? Okay. Very weird. Yeah, I've heard about that. There's going to be a lot of chats. I'll run through them, but when we return, we're just going to run through our last commercial, and then I'll give you my result, and then we're going to continue because the chats keep going on and on into the after party. So stand by. Here we go. One last commercial break, and we return. Please stay logged on, tuned in, and I will give you my companion.
You have more options than ever before when choosing a film, a television or internet series, a book to curl up with, or even a radio show or podcast. Get to know the people who are creating for you. The Hangin' With Web Show, hosted by award-winning author and journalist G.W. Pomacher, is the internet's fastest-growing web talk show series. The Hangin' With Web Show features professional, yet casual, in-depth interviews with creative arts and entertainment pros. Meet the people behind a digital revolution in creating more quality content than ever before in the history of media. Find the Hangin' With Web Show on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or simply go to www.hanginwithshow.com. That's www.hanginwithshow.com.
Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun. From comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items, Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic book, Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter, just type at FFF Comics.
Join author Gary Zeiger for an animatic short film based on his breakaway Stingray novel series. Watch this animatic short based on the novel Stingray, You Can't Hide Forever at stingrayseries.com. In Stingray, You Can't Hide Forever, Captain Epsilon is putting the band back together to rescue his protege's little sister from the evil conglomerate, while keeping his state-of-the-art warship Stingray out of their hands. Watch as the adventure unfolds in the groundbreaking animatic short at stingrayseries.com. Then, join the crew of Stingray with the next novel in the series, Stingray Prophecy, where Captain Epsilon and Dr. Zubre are pivotal players in an ancient prophecy. Can they reunite the people of two worlds before they destroy each other? To learn more, visit stingrayseries.com.
That commercial always throws me off because I see those pictures of those people in the corner and go like, "Oh my god!" We want to thank everybody for joining us here at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Thank you so much. Right now is your chance to subscribe. Help us get over that 2,230 person hump. Hey, if you want to go further, hey, we're trying to get to 3,000 before the end of the year, if not further. Right now, you can subscribe youtube.com, the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. This is how we get the algorithms going, so we can beat that on YouTube out there, and follow us at facebook.com/the Traveling TARDIS. Over 62,000 Whovians are following and growing. We are closing into that 6-3 number and probably that 70,000 before the end of the year, if not even closer. So I want to thank you all. We're still continuing on, and I guess it's my turn. I've always wanted him to be in Doctor Who. I wanted him to be in Classic Who. I thought he would be perfect in Classic Who. Anywhere, somewhere. I don't care. Even today, I don't know if... Do you remember, Tom, who was the... It was the Planet of Spiders. It was the last John Pertwee. What was that character's name? I can't think of it. Compascio or something like that? It was a Time Lord. Do you remember the name?
No, I remember the actor.
Yeah, I was trying to think. He was a Time Lord. He regenerated, and then he helped the Doctor.
He was the Watcher.
Compascio or something like that. Yeah, he was the Watcher out there. I don't know why, and I know he might be too old, but I don't think this guy ever gets too old for what he does, and he has an incredible career, just like you, Lori. I want to bring in James Hong.
Oh my god!
I want him. Maybe I don't know about Companion, but he definitely needs his time in the universe.
He's been in so many movies.
Yeah, exactly. He's been in so many movies.
He was in Mulan.
He could be Gabriella's father.
I was literally going to say that.
Oh my god!
I want him to be. I want him to go in there, and just because Ncuti has this enigmatic personality, is just off the charts, just happy-go-lucky, energetic, and I want James to be the counterbalance, like, calm down. And I can't think of, if anybody can put it in the chats, it was the third Doctor series, The Planet of Spiders.
I got it.
Is it in there, Kempo? I could swear.
Yeah. George Cormac. Thank
you. Kempis Rinpoche, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Dan, and Doctor Who at 60. Yeah, that was the character, and I don't have a picture of the character, but I want James somewhere in there. And he's finally getting his star in the Hall of Fame. And I've been complaining about it. He's deserved it long ago. Like decades ago, he should have had it. So I did myself a thing, and I did the same thing. I Googled James Hahn, Doctor Who. I have no idea why Google put this as the first picture, but you know what? This could actually look like the setup for current Who. It kind of resembles a little bit. That could work that way. But the Golden Child came up as the very first picture, and there's James in there. I just thought it looked like a scene that could be in from Doctor Who, just the three of them, just like that, investigating something or being challenged by the Daleks or something. So that's my pick. I want James, and even if he doesn't become a companion, which I don't know if he's in good health for it, I just want him to show up. I think he deserves it. I think he should be part of the Hooniverse, and it would be a great disappointment if Russell T Davies just didn't give him something to play with in there. So, folks, we are at the end of the audio version of our podcast. We are not shutting down as of yet, but our friends who are listening to us on iHeartRadio, don't forget to subscribe as well. And for those of you who want to listen to our podcast while you're driving, while you're doing some work, join us. iHeartRadio, sci-fi.radio. You can download the app for free and listen to us when we go live on there. CBSradio.com, Spotify, Spreaker, Podbean, Player FM, wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Join us there, and we want to thank the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel and all their friends out there who take good care of us and keep our audios running for those of you who listen to us on audio. So we are going to jump into the after party. We're going to continue with your chats because they are just going off the charts. So we're going to move out there. For those of you who are listening, you can catch the rest of this on the YouTube or the Facebook page. But we want to thank you for joining us today. Everybody else, stick around. We're going to get to your chats. And if you have any new thoughts or ideas of who a companion could be for Ncuti Gatwa's doctor, keep it going. We're going to be talking about it until the end of the show. So thank you so much. Stand by, please. We are moving into the after party. Okay. Tom, back off. That's creepy, man. That is so creepy. Back it off. All right. Everybody, I'm just going to try to run through the chats because they are okay. I even lost my spot for crying out. Hang on a second. Mark Robinson. Let's bring in Buffy. Oh, Buffy is the Ronnie, but she doesn't know that she's the Ronnie, so she acts companion.
Sure. She's great.
Yeah.
I love her on the Crazy Ones.
I would love it. I actually had a fan idea of the Ronnie having a watcher and mistakenly getting lost and becoming the Doctor's companion by accident. That would be a great thing. And then, unfortunately, the Ronnie has to take on her watcher, so that the watcher inadvertently has to die, and that pisses off the Doctor because he or she, whoever the Doctor is at that time, is going to be, gets along with that part of the companion out there. So, Swift as Zephyr, Dwight Schrute as the companion. Schrute. Where's that from? Sorry.
The Office.
Oh, okay. I got to confess.
Fact. It is physically impossible for something to be larger on the inside.
Kevo, if you get a chance, check your mic.
Kevo, you sound like the Dalek.
It's Daleking. It's making it's breaking up. Yeah. Daniel. Now I got to give props to Daniel because he is with the Dalek Builders, and he's going to be helping us bring out Dalek Ren and Dalek Hal. So I want to thank personally Daniel for coming out and bringing it. If we get Lady Me back, I want it as a spinoff of Claire and me in the diner. TARDIS having their own adventures. So join Daniel and me and everybody at the Traveling TARDIS in the area for Tampa Bay Comic-Con, because Daniel's going to be bringing out Dalek Hal and Dalek Ren. And definitely we're going to be excited. So definitely if you want to get your pictures out there with us at Tampa Bay Comic-Con. Sideswipe. Half the key to the success of Doctor Who is the Doctor takes desperate people who need him most, ordinary people, and changes their lives. He shows them just how extraordinary they could be.
Yeah.
That's the case. And I think you could say that the Doctor also gets a little bit of a lesson from the companions as well.
Yeah, like
Rose. It's always a counterbalance. So
yeah. I always saw her like that with Rose. Remember when Rose said that he taught something along the lines, he taught me better to be a better person, to help.
Mm-hmm.
I think something like that would be very great. Something I didn't talk about, and I should have mentioned it also, as who I want as a companion. But I was thinking of British characters, since Doctor Who is a British show. But I personally want, and I'm dying for a Latino character to be on the show. I'm not that desperate to be like represented or whatever you want to define it, but I do really like a Latino character in the show, and I think it would be so much fun. I mean, just talking about like Sofia Vergara, something like that, like playing that kind of sass, like was it you, Kevo? That would be the
Oh my god.
novel. I think
Yeah.
it'll be something fun like that. But all serious. I really would love a Latino character. I think we had one in one of the comics. I think it was with David Tennant. Can't remember. I think it was I think she was a Mexican. I'm not sure, but it was in the comics.
Mhm.
But I would like to have more of that in the series. I mean, why not? And maybe not just again. I know that Doctor Who is a British show, but to maybe go somewhere back in time or some other country, I don't know, or a tourist, maybe a tourist who was from, I don't know, any other Latino country, and ends up with, is in a tour as in the UK, and then ends up with the Doctor, I don't know, something. But I think it'll be fun because that kind of fiery and that kind of wittiness with the Doctor, I don't know, just think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, everybody says that Prima Agaman is the first black representation in Doctor Who. That's not true. Not specifically. Maybe on the TV show, but if you remember a movie called Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, it was played by the princess, who the actress's name is Sophie Okonedo. She would later play on Liz 10 in the 11th Doctor series. She would actually make a return. So it's nice to see that actors who have, or actresses who played certain roles in the past have done it. But that was the first take on a black British person taking into the role as the companion. So I give that kudos to her, because she was technically with the 9th Doctor, who was played by Richard E. Grant in the Scream of Shalka. That was the series, and that was the first time. And that's when the Master came in, and I want to thank Andrew Saran Jones. Yes. We need at least 2 adventures with the Corsair. That would be interesting to see that Time Lord. I forgot the Corsair is mentioned as well, but we never really get to see the Corsair. Chav is a low-class lout. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I say either hardly known or not known at all. Okay, Daniel, I gotcha. Edward comes in and says, I like them all. I like all of them. Edward continues, although Billie Piper broke the mold of female Doctor Who companions. Doctor Who at 60 says, you won't have a popular actor very long, so why waste the time? Get an unknown, maybe not on the UK fans, but a worldwide unknown would be the way to go for sure. Actually, if it was BBC at 60, if it was just BBC right now, yes, because I've always said once they get a touch of Hollywood money or American money, they leave and they never really come back.
Right.
I think the only one who's really kind of stepped down off the altar to do Doctor Who was Peter Capaldi, because he was already an Academy Award winner. Mm-hmm. So he came back. I wouldn't say he came back, but he came to do Doctor Who because he loved the show. And you could tell he could love the fans out there.
We love him too.
But being Sony and Bad Wolf owned, I think it opens up the door, and that's why I wanted to do this episode, to see how far we could go. I mean, there's kind of no limitation, because at this moment, with being Sony, there seems to be no budget, and you can do things like Spider-Man: No Way Home, have all 3 Spider-Men show up out there, just completely go nuts with what we can do, since there's really no limitation at the moment. Sophie, I don't know what you're being apologetic about, but there's no need to be sorry. Thank you for being on the show out there. Hugh Laurie would make a better reoccurring character, but not a companion.
Yeah. Okay.
What about him being a doctor?
Oh, I was going to say that, or a doctor himself. If you've seen the series 40-something, with precisely with Peter Capaldi, I mean, if you look at it, it's like Hugh Laurie could be a good doctor. The Doctor and Peter Capaldi would have been a great master. I mean, if you're gonna look at something like a 40-something, but Hugh Laurie could have been good at it. I think
he still could be if he wanted it.
I think so. A lot of people talked about Andrew Garfield.
Thank you, Choji.
Well,
You could do it. Yet it is to put one more name out there. I bet Reese Darby would be an awesome companion or guest character. Total dad energy. Anybody know Reese Darby?
No, I'm looking.
Got it. Side swap. For your information, Bella Ramsey is who I meant when I mentioned the person who played Lady Mormont as a companion. But she may need to be a few years. It may be a few years longer. Okay, I'll check her out when we get a chance. Well, if you can look that up too. If not, no worries. I'll take a look at it later. But I appreciate that. And then everybody was giving it Kempo. There we go. Kempo Rinpoche was the character from Planet of the Spiders. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, you always guys come through there.
Reese Darby.
I know. I know what he's
Reese
talking about.
Darby is the lead on Our Flag Means Death. He's from a lot of different comedy stuff.
Got it. Let me go ahead and if anybody wants to take the lead for just a second, because I want to bring in a couple more names that Keva was kind enough to bring in. Hang on one second there.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
You said pick 3 random names, and I did.
I love it.
What happened?
I can't wait.
I love it. Okay.
I can't do it.
I can see this.
Every time her cat shows up, I crack up. I can't. It's so funny. He's like,
oh God, did we have it? Yep.
Over
Here we go. Yep. There we go. Yep. Battling TARDIS cat alert. There we go. Say, I want the knife. Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Hang on a second.
I can't.
Not enjoy her cat while I'm bringing up this info.
So funny.
Squeakers.
It's so funny.
Control your cat, woman. Let's see here. I got 3 more companion tests that Kevin brought up at random, and I love them. One of which I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that would be a case. And I'm like, dude, it's so cool.
Mine is behaving. He's sleeping. He's dreaming though. He keeps like, sometimes a cat does a little when they're asleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's going like and he got stuck like this. And that's how he's sleeping right now. He looks so
Kevin was kind enough to bring up 3 more possible companions with existing characteristics these are totally random, so we will bring them up, but without further ado, because there's one of them is still loading up. They're coming in as far as the loading pattern, but here is one companion that we can propose.
I wanted to pick someone from Farscape because I wanted to go random sci-fi. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Wow.
I love Chiana. She was great. Gigi Edgley is fantastic.
That's a good choice.
Gigi Edgley is just funny as a person.
Yeah.
She's awesome. We had the Pope. How about the Dalai Lama? That's true. We did have the Pope and Doctor.
Sure.
So why not bring in the Dalai Lama? Here's the second one.
That's just from my husband, basically, and their boyfriend.
Okay.
They love Kitty Pryde.
Kitty Pryde. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody have any suggestions, or if we brought up 3 just to play with. The third one I thought was the funniest. Why not?
Oh, Sophia, can you imagine? No, can you imagine like all of them like who, like Blanche, and she'll be like flirting with the
Oh
doctor.
my God, she'd be all over him.
She'll be seriously all over him. And but Sophia, can you? Oh God, that would be so much funny.
All of a sudden, every planet that she's on, picture it, Sicily, 19 something. That's the way she would just go
picture it. We're just gonna go look at it.
Exactly.
Picture it, galaxy, something, planet, blah blah blah, year, blah blah blah.
Exactly.
The year 58,000.
Hey yo, yep, both will be at Tampa Bay Comic-Con. Thank you for having us, Christian. No, Daniel, thank you for coming out. I appreciate it. I can't wait. Especially, I can't wait to see Christopher Eccleston see those Daleks and how he would react to them.
Yes, I want.
Edward Hodgman, would it be nice to have Doctor crossover stories between the DE and
DC,
other sci-fi.
probably.
The DC and other sci-fi programming. I don't see why not. It's something we could look at.
No,
And let's take her down, or his mother will shoot. Got more. Ramona. I am going to Neil Cole's Sci-Fi Museum this weekend with JWE team. Okay. Have fun out there, dude. Take some pictures for me. Unfortunately, Dave's not around in the UK now. He's got the traveling TARDIS over in Canada. Apparently, his passport wouldn't get mine. I'm talking about the traveling TARDIS. So I've got nothing. Not even one fixes me as the Doctor screen. Oh, come on, Tom. Sideswipe, true, but the superhero universe, they have had crossover stories. Tobomen in Tomb of the Cybermen. I'm trying to remember the character. It's been a long time since I've seen a Ramona. So, do you know who the character is?
The big dude, the black dude, and they converted him, trying to close the doors because he did the right thing.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I remember. I don't remember his name though. A refugee as a companion, perhaps a Ukrainian actor. Well, the Doctor's Ukrainian. I mean, I'm sorry, not Ukrainian. He is. Ncuti is a refugee from Rwanda.
Rwanda, yeah.
So that's interesting case. And his family got away from it and moved to Scotland to get away.
Yeah, when he was 2 years old.
Yes. So he himself is a refugee. Me. Liseth Chavez. She played Spooner in Legends of Tomorrow. So not well known and Latino. I approve of her as a companion. She's a little spitfire.
Love Spooner.
I haven't seen it, but
I haven't seen it
it
either. But didn't they have like 7 or 8 seasons before they canceled?
Yeah. Yeah, they left it on a cliffhanger as usual.
Oh, okay. Like soap. Hugh Laurie would be a better master than Doctor. I don't know. I tend to disagree.
I don't know.
I see him Doctor.
I see him more Doctor-ish. He could be, I am thinking maybe a little bit like House MD, something like that. But some, how do I say it? Kind of like in a mix of 12 Doctor, Peter Capaldi's Doctor, something like that.
He would have that kind of air of attitude. But I mean, I don't want to equate it to his role being House because I don't know if he would go that. I think he might be a little bit more lighter. But he played that role so well of, guy who, gets angry at things.
But
so maybe
he still does the right thing, right? And
the Doctor always does the right thing.
A lot of people talked about Hugh Grant.
Put the candle.
Oh, put the candle back! I love that movie, Young Frankenstein. But like Hugh Grant. People talked about him like being the Doctor, but I actually see him more as the Master. I see Hugh Laurie as the Doctor, Hugh Grant as the Master.
Hugh Grant as the Master. Okay,
I get that.
The cat from Red Dwarf as companions. Oh God, what is his name? Oh, what is his real name? Good grief. Oh, if somebody could put his real name in there in the chat, so I appreciate that. Mark? Are you referring the cat, or are you referring to the guy who plays the cat being in there?
Ooh,
as a different character, just like Carrie Mulligan, but not as Sally Sparrow. Colin Firth.
Oh yeah, Colin Firth. I like him.
Don't drop the water. Okay. Not exactly sure. What would you think having Matthew Waterhouse to come back as a companion?
Danny John Jules.
David John Jules, thank you. He could do it. He's done other roles outside of Cat. He could pull it off. If he would do it, Doctor lands on Earth post Earthshock. Adric has survived and returned to the TARDIS.
That's like bringing Uncle Ben back to life. You just can't do it at this point.
I think there's some people who would want Uncle Ben come back to life than Adric, but I could see Matthew Waterhouse having. You know what? Maybe he doesn't blow up in that ship, or maybe he gets out somehow, and he's upset at the Doctor because the Doctor has abandoned him, and he's lived his life out so long, and he never got a chance to tour
Parallel
more of the
universe.
universe. Yeah, so he kind of got shafted because he believed he was dead. He didn't even bother rescuing him because beforehand it already was going on. It was already, what was it? The second time that the Earth blew up. The dinosaurs were wiped out or whatever. There's like 2 stories about how the Earth, how the dinosaurs were taken out. There's 2 stories now about the Loch Ness monster. So we can't even keep track of things. And Doctor Who out there. Yes, Gigi, love her as a crossover companion. I'm always, the question is, oh, thank you there, Andrew. Yeah, Danny, John, Jules. The question is, would you bring the character over, or would you bring the actor / actress over and be a completely new character? So would Gigi completely be a new character for Ncuti's role? By the way, Christian, did you like? What's that?
Whatever makes her happy.
Whatever makes her happy. By the way, Christian, did you like Baby Blue Boy Travel TARDIS around? Yeah, I like that the TARDIS gets around the UK, but not me. Hugh Laurie's look is Doctor, but personality is Master because the epic sarcasm.
Gotcha.
Frau Booker.
Frau Booker.
Poor Cloris Leachman's gone, but yeah, she should, just like James. I think there's some point they should have had some part in the universe eventually. Hugh could go either way. No cat as character. Danny John Jules. And so hot it's Leicester?
Leicester.
I don't know.
A lot of people from the UK are talking about the heat, and I'm like, that meme where it says "first time." Yeah, that's me. It's like it's like this every day. It's every day right now. So.
Oh, it's Florida right now. It's everybody's going like, the temperatures must be great down there. I get phone calls from work, and it's just like, the temperatures are great. I'm like, not really. just put your sauna, just step into a sauna and just turn the crank up all the way and just sit in there for a while. After about 5 minutes, when you're done roasting, you're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it feels hotter because there's this.
Pronounce Leicester. Okay.
Saharan dust. Sahara dust. It's covering pretty much the whole island, so it feels more heavy on the heat, and it looks brown. Like almost when you go outside, it looks pretty brown when you go outside. So it just feels worse, the heat. CGI.
Yeah, Sony's got all the money now. Money.
I've been begging. Well, you could do it now.
Yeah.
With the technology. For those of you who are not familiar with Big Finish or the, I think he showed up. I think he started in a comic and then it ended up in Big Finish. Frobisher is a what did the Sixth Doctor call him? For a better term, he's a ship-shaping alien. The thing about Frobisher is that he chooses to be a penguin and can shapeshift.
Yeah, I know what you.
And my favorite Big Finish of all time is the Holy Terror, which is actually where Frobisher's in there. And there's a really great story written by Rob Sherman, who wrote Dalek for the Ninth Doctor series. If you love that episode, you're definitely going to love the Holy Terror. And it's basically a really great start off with characters that you start to learn, and has a little bit of a Doctor Who ending at the end. So get your tissue boxes out and be ready. But I thought it was just a wonderful story. And Frobisher's in it, but to have a ship-shaping Whifferdale, thank you, Tom, appreciate it. He is a Whifferdale. Pronounced Leicester. Thank you, Sideswipe. I'm with Mackenzie on that. There you go. Bring in the CGI penguin. And Dr. Who at 60, it's funny because in Land of the Dead audio, Fifth Doctor, I pictured the skeleton as being Adric's, and the temporal energy of the skeleton is what caused the trouble. I'm a big Adric fan. If you like Adric, when I was a kid, I think Adric was a little insufferable to the Fifth Doctor. The Fourth Doctor, I don't know why Tom and Matthew hit it off, because it was kind of like the father and son. But when it became Five and Adric, I think Adric gave him way of a hard time. At times, he was just being like, "Okay, whatever." So he got a little bit too bratty for me. And then when he finally gets his upcomings in Earthshock, that's everybody was like, "No, don't bring him back. He's fine. Just leave him the way it is." But hey, if you're a big Adric fan, I hope that I know Big Finish has been really expanding on the Hooniverse of Adric, as well as the Fifth Doctor companion. So that'd be great out there. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed yet to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. We are getting close to that big number 2230. Who's going to be it? Just subscribe. Just go over there, hit the subscribe button, get us over that number. That'd be really great. Mark says this really off the world, but what about a tame xenomorph doctor has to teach the xenomorph not to kill?
Wow. No, better yet, I mean, Ripley. Oh, Ripley. That'd be great.
I had this stupid fanfic idea, and I'm downing it a little bit, that a weeping angel converted to human. And the Doctor had to deal with that moment. So the Doctor has a companion that was formerly a weeping angel, because you saw the Doctor change into a weeping angel.
Right.
Why couldn't it happen the other way around?
Why the other way around? Yeah.
Right. And the fanfic idea that I had was the weeping angels could never kill the Doctor. They tried so many times they couldn't. So what would be the best way to infiltrate the Doctor but make a weeping angel a human?
Mm-hmm.
And the weeping angel becomes human, and the Doctor knows there's something wrong with this new companion but couldn't figure it out. And later on we find out that this is a weeping angel trying to assassinate the Doctor, but not only trying to assassinate the Doctor, trying to hurt the Doctor, but the weeping angel starts, because it's human, starts to begin to have a heart of things, and just like it's now having an internal thing, whether it's, whether it wants to do what the weeping angel said, or so, I'm listening to this, the Doctor, and it's really changed me. It's the same way that Turlo worked out for the Fifth Doctor, which the whole purpose of Turlo was kill the Doctor, kill the Doctor.
Kill the Doctor.
Right. So why not a weeping angel try to do the same thing?
I like it. I like it a lot. Sure.
Well, team, we've come to the end of our show, so let's go ahead and wrap it up. Kebo, again, tell people where they can find you and where they can follow you.
You can find a lot of the really cool stuff that we're doing on YouTube at Hubs Plus Network. That's where you can find us across a lot of the socials. And we actually have a really cool thing coming up. Nico has a comic book signing at Forbidden Planet in New York City, which is a really cool comic shop. I can't remember if it's this week or next week, but so check them out on Facebook to find out more information about that. And yeah.
You got it. Mackenzie, where could people find you and your Right of Wands and the Binge Watchers Guide, which I think I just said everything, didn't I?
You very much did. Yeah, I will. If you want to see me in person, I will be at Gen Con in the very first week of August, and I will have my books with me. And otherwise, you can find me and Mackenzie Floor pretty much all platforms, including TikTok as well. There's even a dancing me with a pick-a-pole from Capital Comic-Con.
Melina, where can anybody find you out there on the internet? Where's the best
Well, they
place?
can find me in my apartment.
I don't want people going to your apartment.
No.
No. You can find me. I was gonna say the tour desk. The airport.
Oh, okay. Be kind to your hotel. Be kind
Please
to
be kind to your tour guides. Please be kind.
Gotcha.
It's been a long week. Well, you can find me in my channel. It's Melina. Well, okay, it's Melina Vader. It's Melina Vader. You can find me in my channel. I've been working on a little bit more live streams. Just talking about just a little bit of everything, not just Doctor Who, but movies related, anything. And this Friday, I'm gonna start something fun that I've been working on for a while. It's called Fright Night Fridays. So every Friday, I talk about horror movies, and not just horror movies, anything horror related. Let it be books, urban legends, and this Friday, I'm gonna talk about Amityville movie. So the 1979 version. So if you're interested, you can discuss, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So what else do I do? Oh yeah, and you can find me on
Twitter.
And yeah, just yeah, that's it.
It's fine. That's okay. Don't go to her house unless you have permission from Melina.
Unless if you're bringing food like pizza, I wouldn't mind.
Okay. Yeah, if you're gonna Uber over there. And last but not least, the Reverend Amagon. Tom, where can people find you?
At Reverend Amagon on YouTube. And of course on The Legend of Traveling TARDIS every week because I am the hashtag guru.
There you go.
And not on Facebook right now because I'm still banned for another 2 days for one little thing I said. So silly little me with my big bad mouth. So bad.
I'll tell you what, guys. Everybody in the panel, if you can go to the chats right now, because Dr. Hood 60 is asking for links. So if you want to put your links into the YouTube, go for it, so that Dr. at 60 knows where to go. Weeping Angel, yep, that would be great. I would love to see that crossover. Once the Reverend starts drinking Liquid Death, it's time to go. I don't live far from Amityville. Oh, cool beans. And Mark Molina, what about a cooking show about cooking beans on toast? There you go. I actually thought about doing a cooking live stream. Why not?
I actually had thought about it. I actually thought about it, of doing something like that, like a little live stream of just me cooking. But obviously the traditional Puerto Rican food, I don't know. I think it would be fun.
I'm just going to let people on know who are watching. There might be a chance that we're doing something special for Thanksgiving. And we're going to be doing something with a previous guest who've been on, but you're going to be, if everything goes through, you'll be, I'll just give this little spoiler, you're going to be very entertained. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I appreciate that. And join us every week. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. We'll see you out there. Kevo's put his links into the chat, and if you guys can put it in there so that Dr. Who at 60 and everybody, you can check it out. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to wrap the show up. And again, please stay safe out there. We'll see you for the folks over at the end of the month at Tampa Bay Comic-Con. And always stay safe and become part of the legend.
Why not?